sit in the dark for hours, lost in a story, following characters through slow moments, silences, meaningful looks. Cinema asked for our patience and rewarded it. Now, if a video doesn't catch us in 3 seconds, we're gone. We scroll, we skip, we swipe. TikTok didn't invent this behavior, but it perfected it. 15 seconds, a punchline, a twist. Everything has to be instant. In that speed, depth is the first thing to disappear. We're being trained to think that slow means boring, that a scene without dialogue is a scene without value. But cinema, real cinema, breathes in those spaces. Today, filmmakers face a hard choice. Adapt to the algorithm or get left behind. Make your film shorter, louder, faster, or risk being invisible. This isn't just a shift in format, it's a shift in how we see art. And if we're not careful, we'll forget how to sit still, how to feel something slowly, how to be moved by a story that takes its time. Cinema is the only art that operates with the concept of time, not because it develops in time, but because it captures time. Cinema is a mosaic made of time. The director is a sculptor of time. The aim of art is to prepare a person for death, to plow and harrow his soul, rendering it capable of turning to good. As Andrei Tarkovsky wrote in his book titled Sculpting in Time, once upon a time, films were built on structure, 3 acts, 90 to 120 minutes. Now, audiences are trained to grasp a story in 15 seconds. A study by Microsoft Canada found that in the year 2000, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. By 2015, it dropped to 8 seconds, shorter than a goldfish. And now with TikTok, most users decide whether they like a video within the first 3 seconds. That means slow builds, emotional tension, and layered storytelling, all at risk of being lost. According to Nielsen, 2023, viewers aged 15 to 24 now spend more time watching short-form content than they do watching full-length films or series. This shift has real consequences in the film industry. Studios now prioritize 15-second vertical trailers for testing market reactions. Screenplays are being rewritten by producers, not to improve the story, but to create scenes that could go viral on TikTok. Take Smile, 2022, for example. Its TikTok marketing campaign went viral, and box office numbers spiked. But the question is, did people come for the story or for the 15-second sensation they saw online? Screenwriter Beau Willimon, House of Cards, once said, "If you're writing for a small screen, you're writing for a small attention span." Today, writers are forced to include a hook in the very first page of their scripts. If it's not gripping within 5 lines, it's tossed aside. Storytelling is no longer about emotional development. It's about algorithmic performance. TikTok hasn't just changed how films are made. It's changed who we are as viewers. Scroll culture is training our brains to chase instant dopamine. Every swipe is a search for the next surprise. But the side effect? Our patience is shrinking, and our tolerance for boredom is disappearing. A study from the University of California found The average person now switches focus every 47 seconds. Back in the early 2000s, we could stay focused for up to 2.5 minutes. So what does that mean for films? The Batman 2022
I'm vengeance.
was criticized by some viewers for its runtime, 2 hours and 56 minutes. On TikTok, many users complained, "Too slow. I got bored halfway." Even though critics praised it for its visuals and storytelling, TikTok is reshaping our brains to constantly seek intense stimulation. As a result, slow, quiet, or symbolic films are often labeled as boring. Most of Gen Z now prefers content that gets straight to the point. No setup, no build-up. Even more worrying, many don't finish the films they start, not because the films are bad, but because their attention span has changed. Movies aren't being watched as full experiences anymore. They're consumed in fragments. A cool scene, a viral twist, a 10-second reaction clip. We're not watching stories, we're sampling them. When audiences expect instant engagement, filmmakers start designing for survival, not storytelling. It's no longer, how do I build tension? It becomes, how do I not get skipped? Characters are introduced faster. Conflict starts earlier. Payoffs happen immediately. There's no time for slow tension, no room for ambiguity. Art becomes a negotiation with the algorithm, and that negotiation has rules. Front-load the drama, make the thumbnail pop. Don't let silence linger. If they pause, they scroll. This new rhythm isn't inherently evil, but it favors content that's reactive, not reflective. And that's the trade-off. Cinema once asked, "Can you sit with this feeling?" Now it asks, "Did that feeling go viral?" When we compress storytelling into dopamine hits, we lose space for depth. We lose time for nuance. We lose the beauty of what isn't said. The audience changes, so the medium evolves. But we have to ask ourselves, are we evolving, or are we just adapting out of fear? Let us control the technology and put it in the right direction being from the individual voice rather than something which is just consumed and tossed away. Said Martin Scorsese in a 2024 interview at the Berlin Film Festival, "We live in a time where content is everywhere, and it's all fighting for your attention. But here's the problem. When everything is content, nothing really hits. At first, it feels like we're being entertained, but the more we scroll, the harder it is to feel anything real. Because content isn't meant to move you. It's meant to grab you. It's fast. It's flashy. It's loud. And when that becomes your baseline, real cinema starts to feel boring. A story that takes its time, too slow. A scene without music, too quiet. A character that's complex, too confusing. We are training ourselves to need constant stimulation, like a hit of dopamine every 5 seconds. Just look at how we watch movies now. Scenes get clipped, turned into memes, or reaction fodder. A powerful moment in a film, something meant to linger, gets stitched with a Subway Surfers game. Not because people don't care, but because that's how they've been taught to engage. And the worst part is, we're building tolerance. So what worked last week doesn't work today. We need more. Louder, faster, funnier, always more. This isn't just a content problem, it's a cognitive shift. People struggle to focus. to sit through a 2-hour film without checking their phone, to watch something that isn't edited like a TikTok. Even when we want to enjoy something deeper, our brains aren't used to the rhythm anymore. And the industry sees this, so they make trailers that spoil the movie. They make edits designed to be reposted. They release scenes early on TikTok just to test reactions. But all of this comes at a cost, because cinema isn't just about telling a story. It's about building a world slowly, letting the silence speak, letting the audience breathe. But if we only know how to react, we forget how to reflect. If we only consume what's quick, we lose patience for what matters. In a sea of noise, silence becomes unbearable. And in a world addicted to stimulation, even the most beautiful story feels numb. We've seen how the short-form revolution is reshaping storytelling, how attention spans are shrinking, how emotional engagement is fading, and how filmmakers are adapting, sometimes unwillingly, to survive in a new digital landscape. But this is not the death of cinema. It's a transformation. And transformations, while painful, can also be opportunities. Cinema has never stood still. In the 1950s, TV threatened it. In the 2000s, piracy nearly broke it. Streaming redefined it. Each time the industry didn't die, it evolved. The rise of TikTok and short-form content might feel like an ending, but it's just another shift, maybe the most extreme one yet. The question is, can long-form storytelling survive in an age of instant gratification? What the numbers say. In 2023, Barbenheimer, 2 films over 2 hours long, dominated global box offices. Both were original, ambitious, and unapologetically cinematic. Together, they grossed over $2.4 billion worldwide. Not because of algorithms, but because audiences showed up. Why? Because deep down, people still crave stories that mean something. Not just content, not just trends. Ironically, TikTok, seen as a threat to cinema, can also serve as a gateway. Indie films, documentaries, even experimental cinema are finding new life on TikTok. Directors post behind the scenes. Film fans share analysis, edits, reactions. It's not all noise. It's also community. Some filmmakers use TikTok as a launchpad to fund projects, find actors, and grow audiences before the first frame is shot. That's power if it's used right. The real danger isn't TikTok, it's forgetting why cinema matters. It's not just about resisting algorithms. It's about defending space for nuance, for silence, for discomfort, for things that can't be captured in 15 seconds. Cinema doesn't need to fight TikTok. It needs to remind us what it feels like to watch something unfold slowly, to sit in the dark and come out changed. So what now? We can't rewind the internet, but we can reframe how we use it. Support creators who take risks, share stories that don't scream for attention, but deserve it. Teach ourselves to stay with a film, not just until it gets good, but until it's over. Because cinema isn't dying, it's waiting for us to look up from our screens and remember what it means to truly watch again.